Hello all, this is Mike, Rebel Preacher, Seeker of Truth, Seeker of Light, whatever you want to call it. As you can see, I am driving. Had to run up to Lowe's and get some stuff to finish a room that I'm working on. So I just thought, hey, I felt a little inspired this morning, so I wanted to hop on here and give a shout out to you. Remember the Gnostic Union too. A membership that I'm part of, and I encourage all Gnostics and mystics and Kabbalists who are seeking to reach out to the Gnostic Union. But saying all that, I just want to say something. I was thinking about this the other day, and if you see me not looking at the camera, it's because you'd rather see me looking at the road, not you. So you see this going on. It seems today that most of the religions, like the Abrahamic religions per se, are seeking for a bliss within this simulation that we're in now, within this world that we're in now. And they feel that if they push enough, if they pray enough, if they read the Bible enough, if they do their halakha accordingly to perfection, that all of a sudden this bliss is going to happen. Now, not so much within Judaism. I don't think Judaism perceives the concept of perfection upon this earth because we have so many flaws and stuff. But Christianity, and I know this because I was in the church for years and years and years, does believe that if you push enough with your relationship of Jesus, that you will have like total bliss and everything's going to be okay. But also, too, within Christianity, it's more of a deposit to the next life. In other words, this life is a trial that you have to go through, but at the end, when you die and pass over, you'll be with Jesus eternally. Now, Judaism does not have that concept. Judaism, especially within Kabbalah, believes in reincarnation per se, that we come back. We have a mission that we must complete, and we have to come back until we finish that mission. And you may come back as a non-Jew next time. You may come back as a Jew. You may come back whatever. You have to complete the mission that your soul was given. And the thing is everybody forgets the reality except Hasidism. Like your Chabad, your Breslov, your Hasidic Jews forgets the point of living in the day-to-day, now and now. And the thing is joy is such an important thing, but there's not much around here that gives much joy. With the crazy leaders we have within the world, wanting war, greed, sacrificing humanity for the sake of poison us with the foods they poison us with the medicines they're poisoning us with, all of these things, it is a trial. I have to agree with the Christians there. This place is a place of trial, and it's a place of per se torment. I mean, it really is. And now, as many of you know, I do follow more of a Gnostic pagan understanding of things, although I've been in the church and within Judaism, and I accept parts of their truths too. But mostly I look at more of a Gnostic pagan understanding of things because they were the first. Of course, when I say pagan, that means every community had their own beliefs, had their own understanding of things, and there wasn't a unified paganism, just as in the time of the 2nd century, there was no unified Judaism, certainly not a unified Christianity. And even Islam, when it first started, and it ain't today, none of these places really are, although they claim unity. There was many different forms of Islam also, and we know that got worse and worse as history went on. We see that Islam is split, quite a bit. But one thing that can join us all together is spirituality. And then within paganism, of course, you've got your different, witchcraft. You have Wiccan, Siddur, I can't pronounce it. Within Norse mythology, you have all of these different things: Kabbalistic, mystic, Gnosticism, shamanism. You have all of these forms that basically draw us together and really can help humanity. And if you haven't heard of John Lamb Lash, I think the second one's right. His understanding are so much better to me as far as, we are the human animal living. We live on a planet, and this planet is actually Sophia. She is our life giver. She is our life. She is our life force. And basically we are a form of animals, although we have the divinity of Sophia within us. We have to work together to make this place better, or to bring back Sophia. She says it some other way. And remember, I'm no professional here. I'm just your average bred man out here with these thoughts that come through my mind a lot. But in saying that, even as somebody who is mystical, Kabbalistic, Gnostic, there's no real bliss. Now, of course, I believe that we are, and I say this word very carefully, we are saved not within the Abrahamic religion's understanding. We are elevated in this world because of knowledge. And I believe the more you learn, the more your mind, climbs to the point that you start seeing the truth. And if I'm going to point out to you now the movie The Matrix. In The Matrix, the people that chose to come out of the Matrix, life was not very easy for these people. Life was hell. They were living, they were living together in their communities and stuff, but always under attack by the archons, always under attack, living in not such great conditions, fear all the time. But yet, in that, they had a freedom knowing that they were not laying in those containers as batteries for the Matrix. So they had an understanding that, this is not a great condition, but by God, it's better being that than a battery for the enemy, basically. And that's what they were. They were energized, their batteries that was powering the archons, the Matrix, basically. And that's the way it is today. If you're not studying, if you're not elevating, if you're not learning, you are nothing more but a battery for this Matrix. So what does this Matrix give you? Fear, pain, anger. We've got games. We've got people in games continually, on TV continually. And I'm one of these, so please don't think I'm pointing anybody out. I'm as bad as anybody else is. Hold on, let me turn this. This is Georgia weather, so I had my heater on for a second. Now I've got to turn it over and turn on cool air. But we're trapped within this Matrix because it keeps us trapped. We worry about our jobs all the time. We worry about paying our bills, and these are legitimate concerns. These are legitimate concerns that we must have to survive, especially if you have children or a wife or a husband or whatever, a mate, whatever you may have, the responsibilities of providing. So yes, there is a line between knowing I'm not part of the system and being part of the system. But there's no bliss on either side of it. The only bliss I get is when I understand something new, when the upper soul of mine draws down and gives me a taste of the upper world. It gives me hope. The pleroma, the monad, the tree of life. We have these seven sephirotes that we deal with here on this earth down here. So we grow, we climb, we fall. We grow, we climb, we fall. But the bliss is knowing that we're growing. And to a lot of people, it doesn't mean shit. To be honest, excuse my language, it doesn't mean anything. Because when I try to talk to people, especially within their dogma, it always has to go back to Jesus. It always has to go back to Torah. And I'm not against Torah and I'm not against Jesus. So I want you to understand that. I'm just saying, most people cannot break out of the batteries that they are in. And they have to make it fit around their dogma. They have to make it fit around their understanding. And here again, I've been here. I know this. I know this to be fact. So Mike, what are we talking about here? Well, I just gave you a 10-minute spill of letting you know that if you stay in this matrix, this reality, if you're watching Fox News 24/7, if you're only listening to the same sermons, the same teachings over and over and over again, and you're not growing at all, and people, I've been in church with you, after a while, there's no growth in church. There's no growth in this. And here again, I'm not leading you, by the way. I'm not your pastor. I'm not your priest. I'm just saying, this is me. Let me say this is me. There's only so far spiritually you can go that you're going to have to go within yourself. And when I say go within yourself, self is not a God that you need to be listening to. You need to seek that above. You need to seek the ultimate divine creator, the true divine architect, not the one of this world, but to seek that above. And the thing is it takes everything. And it costs, if you want to use Jesus, it costs Jesus his life, basically, pointing people to this. He never, everything that we have today with Moses and Jesus has been totally twisted. We've created religions. We don't realize these people as maybe even beings that trying to elevate humanity, and that's exactly what it's about. Christianity for 2,000 years is a total failure. Yes, it's helped people. My daddy loved it. My mother loves it, and it's a good thing for where you're at. But as far as society, nothing's changed. Judaism, same thing. Nothing's changed. Nothing has changed anything. Now, it can change you as a person, and I respect that. But I'm talking about the world. We really need our seekers of upper knowledge, seekers of truth, seekers of Kabbalah, seekers of mysticism, Gnosticism, paganism, shamanism. The only way we're going to, Mike, feel this is going to ever come to pass is when we actually come together and try to work on humanity's issues. And I don't know that it'll ever happen because of dogma and stuff. But in the Matrix, even though they won sometimes, it still was hard and rough, and it's going to be the same way with us today. So, here's my rant. There is no instantaneous bliss. This is why people turn to drugs and alcohol and stuff like that to escape their problems. My recommendation to you is to seek knowledge. Seek knowledge. Seek higher understanding. Seek higher. And if you're a Christian, start seeking mysticism. If you're a Jew, start seeking Kabbalah. If you're a heathen of some kind, start seeking divination. Start seeking something higher than you. And yes, you're going to fail over and over and over and over and over again. But we'll never climb this hill if we're not trying. But I'm telling you, this Peshat level of understanding of these books and religions isn't doing anything for us. I recommend reading Second Enoch. Excellent book. I recommend reading a lot of the Colburn Bible. It's a long book. Good advice in that. And of course, the Gnostic Gospels are great, but when you read the Gnostic Gospels, you can't read them as you read the New Testament or the Torah. Well, hell, you shouldn't even read them in the plain level. Everything should be read on a higher level. So, I've ranted long enough. It's good to see y'all. And I just felt a bit inspired to say, there's no instant bliss in this chaotic, hellish world that we live in. But we must draw down joy. We must draw down unity. We must draw down higher understandings to beat the system that we're in. And I don't know if we ever will, but I'm certainly going to work on it. I know the people in the Gnostic Union are going to work on it. I know friends of mine outside who are Kabbalists and stuff like that are going to work on it. So let's get together and work. Thank you.